All right, guys, what is up? It is Thursday, the 10th of October, 2024. It is 12 p.m. here in Germany. This is the Insanity Report for today, and again, I've got to tell you guys some news from Germany. Now, Germany and most of Europe has these extravagant social welfare programs, right? That's why your guys is in the States, your guys is left, far left and lefties, they always point to Europe and say, oh, we got to be more like them. And the reason for that is because they think that healthcare is free here, which is not. And they think that, the social welfare programs where the state wipes everybody's bottom and kind of nannies over the public. That's the kind of way they want to go. And you guys are seeing that. You can call it socialism, you can call it communism, whatever. It's more centered around the well-being of everybody rather than individuals being able to get ahead and leaving those that can't get ahead behind. America's more of a country where it's about personal responsibility, picking you up by your bootstraps, getting ahead every way you can, and making your own way. And Europe is more centered around coddling the public as if they're little children. And the people here generally do like that, and if it worked correctly, it would be good. There's some good aspects about it. But let me tell you a story of how out of control that can get. So, here in Germany, we've got a social welfare program. It's called Bürgergeld. Bürgergeld is directly translated to citizen money, right? Citizen money means, and here's what citizen money is meant for, right? Citizen money is meant for if you become unable to work through medical reasons, for example, then you will get a minimum income supplied to you by the state. So the state will pay your rent. Now, they won't pay rent for an extravagant $1 million house, but they pay rent for subsidized housing and, welfare housing. And they pay the rent, they pay the utilities, and you get a little bit of cash in order to get groceries and beer and cigarettes and shit that you want to get, right? It's not restricted. It's not that you can't get alcohol with the money you have left over. You can do whatever you can gamble it all away if you want. Doesn't matter. You just don't get more, right? You also get money for every child you have. You know what I'm saying? And so basically, I'm paying for other people's kids. Now, not only welfare recipients get money for kids, everyone gets money for kids from the state. Now, I used to hate it. I used to be completely against it. But I guess I have to be honest and say, well, I guess if there is a repopulation problem, which all of these Western countries have, that the people aren't having enough kids for different reasons. It's not all because of climate change. I don't have kids. I don't want kids. I don't like kids. That's basically it. You know what I'm saying? Kids are not for me. I'm a dog guy. I love dogs. We've got dogs, right? Now, that's a personal choice. I think everybody should have that personal choice, but it does cause a strain on the economy, the welfare system. It causes a strain on the pension fund system. So it is a problem not being able to repopulate your country, and it's such a problem that the politicians want to solve it by just opening the floodgates of immigration and letting every fucking person, no matter where from, without vetting, into the country as they're doing in America. So they always say, well, look, we need people, we need more people working, et cetera, et cetera. Now here's the crux, right? They need more people working, right? There's a lot of unemployment here in Germany, and the reason is not because there's not enough people to work, okay? They have enough people to work, for sure, right? So where are these people that are supposed to be working? They're getting citizen money, right? So citizen money, as I was saying, citizen money is meant for if you are incapable of working through some sort of medical condition or something like that, you will get a basic minimum income, right? Call it something like universal basic income, basic universal income, something like that. And it's not bad. I mean, it's not, you don't get rich off it, right? You don't get rich, but you do have all day to be in your house and do what you want to do. So a lot of people, especially those people working menial jobs, like in the service industry, it's almost worth it to just not go to work. You know what I mean? It is probably worth it because you don't get to have any holidays off if you're in the service industry. Christmas, you're usually working. You're usually working extremely long hours for very little money, serving stuff. In Europe is not a big tipping country. You get very little money in tips. So basically you're at the existence minimum income for working on your feet all day, every day. But you could say, I don't want to do that. I'm going to get citizen money, and then you can sit on your ass at home for almost the same amount of money as you got working in the service industry. So the incentive structure is not really right, okay? Let's start there, okay? So, look, I also got some citizen money. I came to Germany, right? I came to Germany, and I had an opportunity here to run an own business with a friend, a so-called friend. And of course, as usually the things go, after 4 years, when money started coming into play, that friend basically screwed me, and I basically nixed the business. I 68 the business, that was it, or 86 the business. And then I was like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm here in Germany. I'm not German. I don't write the language. I speak the language pretty good, but I don't write the language very well. I hate regular jobs. What am I going to do? Well, I think being a truck driver would be a cool job. Then I found out that being a truck driver would cost me between 13 and 15,000 euros to get the license. But Europe's looking for truck drivers. They need truck drivers desperately. So I went to the city hall where I live, and I was like, look, I just gave up my business. I don't have an income. I want to be a truck driver. And they were like, fantastic. We need truck drivers. So we're going to give you money to live, and we're going to pay for the truck driving license. I was like, wow. So they paid it. 15 grand. They paid it. Now I'm a truck driver. I love this job. It's great, right? I have hated every job my whole life. This job is great. So it has good aspects, right? But as soon as I got my truck driver's license, of course, I was off the government money. That's it. Now my taxes go to paying into that system. And where things are going wrong is the majority of the recipients of this citizen money or government money, whatever you want to call it, are either immigrants or people with an immigration background, which means they were born to immigrants. You know what I mean? So, or they were brought here by immigrants that came here. And it doesn't matter if it's legal or illegal. The majority of the recipients of German citizen money are foreigners. Well, that's weird because, really, they weren't paying into the system. And a lot of these foreigners are getting this money right away as soon as they cross the border. Whether it's legal or illegal, they're getting full service citizen money to sit on their ass at home. And a lot of people in Germany like this deal, and they don't want to go back to work. They don't want to find a job that they like. They've learned how to live on this very low income, and they're doing it even though they could work. Okay? They're doing it even though they could work, but they don't want to work. And the government is not very good at forcing people to work. Now, the way the program is supposed to work is, if you are out of a job, let's say you got fired or you quit, even if you quit, you don't get the money right away. There's a period of time. But if you get fired, you get the money. It's like unemployment. And the way that should work is you get unemployment, and then you have to go twice, 3 times a week to the department that gives you that money, right? And they've got job listings, and you take a fucking job and you get off that citizen money. And if that's not a job that you really want to do, well, then you should be looking for another job as you work that one. Now, I know that's not ideal. That's not handy. I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. It's not ideal. It's not great, but that's life, right? Life is tough sometimes. You should be happy that you get anything at all. You know what I mean? Because in a lot of places in the world, if you don't have a job, if you don't have a way to make money, you're fucked. That's it. You're fucked, right? So that's how that works. That's how it's supposed to work. But what people do here is they're like, well, that job requires I move, and I don't want to move. And the government doesn't require you to move. So they're like, okay, well, maybe next week, and they require proof of that you're doing interviews. So people write emails to companies they know that's never going to hire them, and then they produce their emails they wrote and said, well, I wrote all these people. I didn't get an answer, and I guess they don't want anybody. I'm doing my best here. All right, I'm doing my best. And so they don't have to go back to work. And people can drag this out for decades. There are people that can work here, especially the majority of the illegal immigrants and legal immigrants that are majority working age, military age, young men, just like in America. They can work, but they're not being forced to, right? And that's the leftist ideology again. Well, we can't force them. We can't force them to speak our language. We can't force them to assimilate. We can't force them to go to work, guys. That would be mean. We can't force them to go to work. How horrible is that? Instead, we'll make the people that are already paying exorbitant taxes work for them. like me. Like now I've got to pay so that, whatever amount it is, a couple million fucking Moroccans can sit on their ass and not work. That also includes Germans. I'm not being racist. German people are the same also. They are also taking advantage of the system. And hey, more power to them. Because you know what? The government is in control of that system, and the government could easily sanction those people or pull them off welfare and say, okay, you've said no to 50 jobs this year, and so you've got a month left, and that's it. And if you don't get a job within a month, I don't care if it's cleaning toilets with a toothbrush, we're cutting the money completely and you're done. They're never going to do that. So, of course, people are going to continue to take advantage of the system, and by all means, do so. You know what I mean? Because the people that are controlling the system are not doing their jobs, right? They're basically letting it happen. So, hey, go for it. It's just like the illegal immigrants. Hey, come on in. You know what I mean? Come on in. If I was them, I'd do the same. It's not their fault that they're being allowed to traipse across the border like that. You know what I mean? It's not their fault. It's the government's fault that is supposed to be in control of everything. They're not in control of jack shit. They're abdicating their responsibility on every front. And this government money thing is no different. So now this government that is losing its ass in the polls, they're going to get voted out next year for sure. They know they're going to lose their power, and they're trying to find ways to save money, right? Because they can't put together a budget that's going to be feasible or lawful for next year. And because they want all of their social welfare programs to continue. This is part of the reason why I'll be happy when Trump gets back into office and tells NATO all the countries are going to have to pay their fair share and then some, and maybe make up for lost pay, for back payments. You know what I mean? They're in debt, basically. And the only reason why Europe can have these extravagant social welfare programs that are basically hurting the economy and hurting the taxpayer more than they're gaining from it is because they don't have to supply their own security. They don't have to pay for their own security. They rely on Big Daddy America. When something shit hits the fan, they're like, oh, America, we're part of NATO. Come on over. You know what I'm saying? Come on over. But when it's time to pay, they don't do it because that means they would have to make cuts in a lot of these social extravagant programs that aren't realistic to begin with. They don't want to do that. So when Trump comes back in, it's going to be rough for Germany and these countries that are doing this, but it'll make them get their act together, and it'll make people in government start making decisions that are logical when you're in a position of power and government. You want to organize a budget, you want to organize a country, then you're going to have to make hard decisions. You just can't fucking buy votes forever. You know what I mean? There are going to be things that are going to piss people off, and maybe they won't vote for you anymore, but that's just the way it goes. That's what a democracy is, right? So now they've come up with a new plan in order to get. So first of all, people are like, no more immigration. We don't want immigration. That's everybody's made it clear. The people have spoken. They don't want this mass immigration to continue. But the government's like, fuck you. We're going to let it continue, and we need to let it continue because we need workers. We need workers. Well, wait a minute. What about all the workers that are here already getting free money sitting on their ass? Why not, if you need workers that much, close the fucking border and get all the people that are already here getting this citizen money, get them to work. You know what I mean? There's work everywhere, especially truck drivers. Like, you can get a job as a truck driver like that. You know what I'm saying? And the government will even pay for your license. Hey, do that. That's a way to get people back to work. You help them get to a job they want to get. That would be even better. That'd be better. But no, instead of that, they come up with this plan, right? They're like, okay, the people that are now getting government money, free money from the taxpayer, okay, that are actually supposed to already be back at work, but they're not enforcing the rules as they've been made. So they're not enforcing the rules on it. So instead of enforcing the rules, we're going to give them another benefit, right? Now what they want to do is they want to coax people back to work by saying, listen, if you go back to work and you maintain that job for a year, the taxpayer will give you $1,000 tax-free, no problem, in your bank account. You earned it, buddy. You earned it. You went back to work. Oh my God. Fucking all right. All right, huh? That's great, huh? So this government money shit already costs, I don't know, 50 billion euros a year. And now they want to take even more of our money, my money, tax money, to coerce people who don't want to go back to work and sit on their ass to go back to work and then they want to give them $1,000 as a bonus. What they should be doing is cutting these people off the fucking government teat right now. They should be going through and using the money, the taxpayer money, to have bureaucrats go through and find out which people have been systematically denying to take work and sitting on their ass for decades at a time, and giving them an ultimatum and saying, look, you got another 6 months, you're going to have a job, don't care what it is, and after that, government money is done for you. Forever. That's it. If you go back to work, and for some reason you get fired, we can start over. But if you don't get a job within the next 6 months, it's done. That's what they should be doing to these millions of people getting free cash, right? That's what they should be doing. Not saying, hey guys, why don't you go get a job for a year, you get a free $1,000, and then once that year is up, they're like, cool, I'm back on the couch. All right. That's how these fucking crazy leftist people think. It's maddening. If you're a person, I mean, there's a lot of German people that are seriously pissed off. They have seriously had it. There's a lot of people that go to work every day, right? See, for me, it wouldn't be worth it to get government money because I make way more money than I would sitting on my ass. But again, you can also work black. You can also deal dope. You can do whatever to get extra money. So a lot of these people that are living on government money actually have more money in their accounts than hardworking people do, because they're getting money under the table doing different shit for cheaper prices on the black market. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some of them are dealing dope. Some of them are doing like handiwork for people, which I don't have a problem with that. I do the same. But hey, they basically decide their own. They're like their own boss. They decide their own hours. They get up when they want. You know what I'm saying? They're not beholden to any boss or any shit. They get this money directly on time every month, no problem. They don't have to take a real job. And in the meantime, when they need extra money, they can do what they need to do to get it. Now, there's even clan families. That's giant families of immigrants, yeah, that are getting thousands of euros a month. I mean, there's one or two families in Germany that are currently getting about 17 to 20,000 euros every month because of the size of the family, right? It's bananas. It's bananas. But it's happening, and the government's just letting it happen. They're the ones facilitating it. They're letting it happen. That's how crazy leftist ideology will get. So, one more time, just like every video, I'm going to go over it one more time. Get these leftist ideologues out of power before they completely destroy everything they touch. Kamala Harris is a radical leftist. She is not going to do anything for your country in America. Nothing. You know it. You know it by what she says. She hasn't come up with one policy yet, even though she's done interviews and shit like that. She looks ridiculous. She looks like a retarded woman. You know what I mean? She's a dumb shit. She's a nitwit. You can't let this nitwit be president. You already have a brain dead person in there right now that's president that isn't really president. We don't know what the fuck the guy's doing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's fiddling around with the nuclear button. Who knows? You know what I mean? Nobody knows. So, guys, please understand, leftism is a sickness. This leftist ideology is a sickness. It's a cult. It's got to stop. Because otherwise you get stupid programs and stupid plans like what they're trying to do here in Germany. And you don't want that. You don't want that. It's ridiculous. All right, guys, if you like my stuff, if you want to get my email, if you want to get the videos, so the Insanity Report, the Weekly Rant, a couple other things I'm going to do, in your inbox directly when it comes out. Also my articles, also long detailed articles. A lot of people like them, so you can get all that stuff directly in your inbox as soon as it comes out. If you subscribe to my Substack below, you can do it for free. You can do it for $5 a month. Either one's cool for me. And then you'll get everything centralized directly into your box instead of having to go to social media or waiting for some, some notification that may never come. You know, you can get it all centralized right there. I'd appreciate it if you did that. And we will see you on tomorrow's Insanity Report, people. Have a good one.